Elon Musk just revealed this new telescope will knock down the industry. Musk has an incredibly creative mind. If something attracts his attention, it's certainly something fascinating. You might know that, in recent times, the James Webb Space Telescope has already attracted a lot of attention, including a recent backlash from internet mogul and billionaire Elon Musk. The launch of this telescope, according to Musk, the creator and CEO of SpaceX, is a significant deal and will leave a tremendous effect on scientific research. Want to know more about it? Well, stay tuned in the video. Hello guys, welcome to the Elon Musk exclusive. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get new updates about technology and developments and basically anything around real-life Tony Stark, Elon Musk. Hit the like button to show your support, and today we are going to talk about what Elon Musk thinks regarding this new high-tech telescope. In his own words, it will knock down the industry. So without further ado, let's get this started. The James Webb Space Telescope, also known as JWST, is the world's most powerful and complicated observatory ever built, and it's only a few steps away from solving the universe's biggest mysteries. The excitement around it is at an all-time high. Musk called it a significant event for individuals who are fresh to the scientific field, in response to a BBC Twitter piece that gave an insight on Webb's aims of seeking for the end of darkness. The launch of Webb Telescope is significant for several reasons. First and foremost, that telescope is a collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency (ESA), and the Canadian Space Agency (CSA), and it was launched after 30 years of development, not to mention the Space Agency's investment of roughly $10 billion in funding to make the Webb a reality. In addition to the absurd amount of time it took, it is named after NASA Administrator James E. Webb, who served from 1961 to 1968. He was crucial to the Apollo program's success and played an important role in it. The Hubble Space Telescope was sent into space in 1990, but owing to a technical mistake, it acquired some kind of myopia, and the photos it took were hazy. Another reason the Webb Telescope is significant is that a portion of it will be developed to observe even the most incomprehensible of the information-carrying infrared rays. That telescope will look back nearly 13 billion years to the beginning of time when the first stars emerged. This telescope is being built in such a way that will produce results similar to a time machine, through which scientists will learn about the early days of our universe and how it was contaminated with light. Before the Big Bang, the only thing the universe had in the way of a cosmic item was darkness, and the first stars far away from our planet ignited, putting an end to the darkness. That telescope will search for the light that originated billions of years ago from the festivals. JWST lead project scientist and Nobel laureate John Murtha told the BBC that after pointing its 21-foot gold-plated mirrors towards a little patch of sky, the telescope functions in low Earth orbit, making it easy for astronauts to repair and improve it. When the Hubble Space Telescope was deployed in 1990, NASA was already planning the building of a James Webb Space Telescope, which began in 1996. The telescope was supposed to be ready for launch in 2007, with a $500 million budget. However, development was plagued by delays and cost overruns. In 2005, it had to go through a major overhaul. The building of the telescope was not completed until 2016. After an extensive testing process, it was finally launched into orbit on the Ariane 5 rockets on December 25, 2021. Since Apollo, NASA's human spaceflight programs have been stifled by public and political pressure to be extremely risk-averse. The space shuttle failed twice out of 135 launches. Thrill junkies would gladly accept this 2% level of danger. But the shuttle was promoted irresponsibly. Because it was safe, each failure resulted in a national tragedy, which was followed by suspension, while costly measures to reduce the danger were made. Because of their culture of safety, to achieve any ambitious aim within a reasonable budget, NASA had to overcome numerous political obstacles. However, as the James Webb Space Telescope nears the end of its major deployments and enters a cooling period, NASA released some interesting details about the $10 billion observatory. One notable point is, there are some lenses in this telescope that are constructed of salt. You might wonder, why is a salt-based lens required for this infrared telescope? Well, there are numerous types of lenses available, including mirrors and reflective lenses that slant the light, as well as lenses that allow light to pass through them. For James Webb, these second sorts of lenses are referred to as transmissive lenses, because infrared light, which behaves differently than visible light, plays an important role. The difference between glass and salt is that glass absorbs infrared light, whereas salt does not. Salts are more than just something we sprinkle on your food. Salt is a chemical compound that consists of a positively charged element and a negatively charged halide. They gain or lose a negatively charged electron to gain or lose charge. Sodium chloride is the most common type of salt, but it's not the only one. Lithium fluoride, barium fluoride, and zinc selenide are some of the other forms. Simple chemistry, right? However, space debris such as tiny meteoroids endangers these lenses in the long run. The James Webb Telescope was launched by NASA on December 25th and has been working in space for the previous 3 weeks. It has now received substantial deployments, such as the primary and secondary mirror. The James Webb Space Telescope is a massive undertaking. It is a significant accomplishment for NASA and the other space agencies involved in its development. Elon Musk himself explained why the Space Telescope holds such great significance for society. The proficiency of James Webb Space Telescope is what makes it so significant. The telescope has developed a detector capable of detecting the smallest information carried by light, and it should be able to see images 100 times fainter than its forerunner, the Hubble Space Telescope. On Saturday, January 8th, the new observatory, the world's largest space telescope, successfully unfolded its final primary mirror piece, capping one of NASA's most difficult space deployments ever. The admissions team is now focusing on bringing the telescope to its final place, while also getting critical sections of the observatory online so that astronomy can continue to operate wherever it is expected to arrive by January 23rd. The plan is to set it up to start its engines and glide it to a parking area called Earth-Sun Lagrange Points, which is around 930,000 miles from our planet. Due to a near-perfect alignment with the Sun and Moon, it can need very little fuel to stay in position once it reaches the correct zone. Team members will spend the next 15 days synchronizing the 18 mirror segments to act as one mirror, much as they did for the engine fire. In a press conference held on Saturday, January 8th, from Webb's Control Center at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, Maryland, John Denning, Webb's deputy project manager at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, told reporters that he would prefer to say that Webb will begin turning on the instruments in the coming week or so. And then, after they get into L2, as the instruments cool down, engineers will begin to turn on all of the various instruments, which include a near-infrared camera, a near-infrared spectrograph, a mid-infrared instrument, and a hybrid of fine guidance, a sensor, and spectrograph for observations in the visible near-infrared and mid-infrared, 0.6 to 28.5 micrometer wavelengths. According to NASA, the basic calibration will take around 3 months to complete in time for the first light, when the telescope will take its first alignment image. According to NASA, the first photographs will most likely be hazy, because the telescope has not yet been fully calibrated. More imaging and testing will be required to perfect the setup, but we will soon be treated to new and previously unseen photographs from orbit. Apart from our thoughts and beliefs, what are your thoughts on James Webb's telescope? What fresh information and photographs will it provide? Do you also think it will help us take a gigantic leap in science? Please let us know in the comment section below. Most importantly, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like for this video and please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive a reminder whenever we post a new video. See you soon in the next one. Till then, peace.